Hey everyone, Simon here with a review of Cook Serve Delicious 3. Cook Serve Delicious 3 is a button mashing dexterity panic challenge. Cook 'em up. It's available for PlayStation 4 as you see on your screens, but also Nintendo Switch, PC, and I think Xbox One as well. I'm a big fan of this series, I have been for years, adore the first two. Not great at them, but I love the challenge. And so I was really interested to see with the third one where the series would go, because Chubbykins, the person that makes these games, kind of made a great first game. Then the second one was more of the same, but better and just tons of it. But this third one starts to change up some of the mechanics and makes a really interesting branch off from the original kind of formula, which I appreciate. And vastly, for almost every single change is for the better. If you're new to the series, this is where this review will kind of kick off now. So you play as a chef who has just lost all of their empire from Cook Serve Delicious 2 and gets picked up by two robots who are going to take him on a food truck tour across America to regain some dignity and get some awards and get their chef life back. This means that you will have to drive to different truck stops. Not you physically, but the robots will do it for you, and then deliver out food for those truck stops and then quickly dive on to the next one. And that might sound like a weird little story plot point, but it fundamentally changes how the game works. And this is the key to the change for Cook Serve Delicious 3, which makes it A, more approachable, B, a really different experience to the first two, but C, also has this really cool knack of being able to help you kind of monitor your own difficulty. And if you want to go absolute panic mad, you can. But if you want to rein things back in again, you also can as well and kind of work to your own challenge. So what do I mean by that? As you play on the screen, you've got the ability to pick your own menu from a variety of different menu items that you'll purchase and buy as you kind of progress through the game. Not all menu items are available for each run. They're kind of segmented into different types of runs. But you'll have the all beef menu or the salad and fresh and healthy menu. And items are split into largely two categories. You've got your kind of side menus that will go across the top of the screen, and they're kind of in heated serving trays or fresh kind of ready to order things, and you can have them kind of going along the side and people will pick them up and eat them, but you just need to make sure that you've always got some kind of on the go or cooking or ready to go. Those things will have a freshness to them, and so they kind of only exist for a certain period of time before your hot plates and hot sides kind of become stale, and then you need to remake them. However, the big change is that you'll also have these kind of main dishes which can be phoned in as you're going from truck stop to truck stop. And so you'll kind of have a timer on the right hand side, which is like a mileage clock. And it will say 2 miles to the next stop. And you'll have these orders coming in advance. And so the idea is that you can try and get these menu items all kind of done and ready in time, so that you can then be prepared, if you're good enough, to have the menu items for these kind of ones ready to go for when they arrive. That gives you more points. That makes you more of a bonus. It also kind of clears the way a little bit, because you can decide to tackle them up front, or if you're playing on chill mode where the customer's patience are kind of never ending, you can use them tactically to kind of drip feed in some of the people that just want the hot takeaway side stuff, like your fries and your falafel and your salads up on top. How you play is up to you. And as you go through truck stop to truck stop, what you'll be doing is using a plethora of buttons to pour the drinks, make the ice cream, tenderize the meat, cook it, mix up the correct type of seafood to put in the deep fat fryer. And it's so quick and it's so intuitive when you're playing with a controller that you're using the shoulder buttons to move through different menus and to select different things. And then you've got you'll press and hold one side of the controller down, and then you've got the face buttons to kind of press the exact thing that you need to do. And then eventually you'll kind of have like a let go of everything and press X to cook or serve, and you hope it's delicious by the end of it. It is entrancing because of the speed that you go at, and you'll start to, as you kind of expand your repertoire and you get more akin to the game, you'll know the patterns of the food of some of the really quick and easy menus, so that you're doing it almost without watching what's going on the screen, and you get into this like zen mode where you're just going right trigger, da 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 da, let go, X, cook, off, served, ding 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 ding. And the other improvement that they've done with this game is that the robots can serve en masse for you. So you can prepare all of this stuff, and say if you've got like 16 slices of ham ready to go, or turkey slices, and like 8 all come in all at once, just a flick of the right stick whilst you're making other stuff sees them served and out the door. Now, that's all well and good, but then as you're going through truck stop to truck stop, you're also leveling up in terms of your XP, which is designed kind of by how well you do, but also the level of difficulty of the dishes that you get. And so dishes have a like star rating figure. Ones that have got 0 stars are very quick and easy to deal with. They're normally like a slice and serve or a like cook and serve type thing. Then you've got 1 star type things that might have a couple of tweaks needed to them, or it might be a simple cook and then you have to serve it up with a choice of sauce, and you need to make sure you do the right one, because otherwise the customer will go away upset and angry, and that's not going to pay you anything because you're looking for clean runs throughout this game. Then you get up to like the 3, 4, 5 star stuff, and those ones will have specific customer wants and needs that you'll need to look at the menus and then go and try and like hit them out really quickly. Quite often they'll also need to be cooked, and if you leave them in the cooking oven pot or whatever for too long, they'll go past the green mark and then they'll end up in the yellow, and that's fine. But if they start hitting red and becoming burnt, game over, my friend, for that order. As you go through it, you get this money in XP for all of the orders and the successful runs that you do. And you can be awarded a bronze, silver or gold medal depending on how perfect you are with your runs. I personally found that I would gravitate to chill mode, and chill mode then lets the patience of the customers kind of stay forever, because otherwise they walk away really quickly, and that was getting too panicky for me when I was starting to be like, I want a 15-point menu or a 15-star menu, for example, where I've got all these different burgers and like ceviche and all of these types of different dishes all pointing out, and my brain was just going melty melt. So I was on chill mode, and chill mode lets you earn up to a silver medal, but it still gives you plenty of XP and money so that you can buy different dishes and try them all out. And then what you'll do is you'll be upgrading your truck as you go through. And this is where one of the ingenious parts of the scaling of the game comes in, because you can ask for additional kind of hot serves that can go across the top, but also customer serving hatches down the side, which is where all of the orders are coming in that you need to clear. Now, that can be both a blessing and a curse depending on how you play, because yes, you'll be able to maybe handle 6 orders at a time and get through stuff quickly, but you can then have more serving hatches, which will then reduce the amount of stars and points that you need from your menu complications, but then you're having to deal with more customers at the same time. And if you're still playing in standard mode where they've all got the patience of literally nothing and they want to walk away as soon as they turn up for their order, you're kind of balancing essentially, can I actually satisfy all of these customers? And I've just made the game more difficult. the kind of flip side of that is that in theory you should then have an easier menu to play with and deal with, and if you've got that muscle memory right, you can flip out all of those chicken wings quite happily and get your tandoori chicken out as well at the same time. It's a real tricky balance, and it's up to you individually as a player to set your own difficulty level, because you can do these upgrades but then kind of turn them off and on to suit. Other upgrades include increasing the customer's patience, letting dishes sit in the perfectly cooked section of their cooking time for longer, and also increasing the freshness of things as well, because particularly when you're dealing with fresh fruit and vegetables, if you're doing like some of the fruit salads and stuff like that, they go off so quickly, and you'll need to keep on remaking them. Having additional kind of hot serve like platters up on the top is really helpful as well, because then you can have lots of the same thing on standby potentially as well. So much to go through, so much to deal with. The game also can be played completely in co-op as well as single player. That is hilarious if you want to watch someone have a complete meltdown, especially if they aren't controller literate. I do strongly recommend it. But there's 380 levels to get through. As you continue going through different states for America, different dishes start to come into focus. So you might have bought loads of stuff from previous and started to get to know dishes much more. But more and more foods keep coming up. There's some good stuff around actually how the dishes are made and put together and their origins as well, which I strongly enjoyed reading and finding out about. But also as well, it constantly changes up what it's doing and asking you to push harder and harder and harder, which means that you can't rely on the same tactics over again. So the game changes and morphs as it goes through. You've also got loads of decorating truck features as well. One of the other things that I really liked is that there's loads of accessibility options for this game as well. So there is flashing strobe effects, which you can turn on or off. There's colorblind features, there's audio features. There's also stuff around how text flies across the screen, and also a motion sickness turning on or off as well, because where you're in a food truck, there's graphics of things constantly moving out of your window as you're kind of moving from stop to stop. If that makes you ill, obviously you can turn all of that off as well, which is great. Funky cool soundtrack as well from Jonathan Gear, Jonathan Gear, who I'm a big fan of already. And some great voiceovers as well from Whisk and Cleaver, your two robots who chat absolute trash at you, especially when you aren't doing particularly well. They expect perfection. And they don't get it from me very often. But that doesn't mean that I don't thoroughly enjoy this game. It's a fantastic series. This is the best of the three Cook Serve Delicious games that are out there to date. Makes me hungry. Don't play on an empty stomach. Chubbykins on Twitter is hilarious as well to watch, especially when he's making these games, because you get little tidbits out there as well. And it's just an all-round indie game gem experience. Thoroughly recommend. All of the thumbs up. Go buy it. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a collection of media projects ran by me. If you like what you see and want to find out more, visit patreon.com/Higher Plane Network. Your support can make so much more possible, be that a like, a comment, a share, or a pledge. Thanks for watching.